Throughout Overwatch history, there's always been one man in the background. Of every moment, every highlight, every XQC desk slam fart moment, there was Sugar Free. He has been playing Overwatch for over half of his life, and there has not been a time in that span where this guy hasn't been at the absolute top of the game. Dude's been dominating since he was 11 years old, but he first started playing professionally at the age of 12, playing for no anime allowed and no clout with future Overwatch League players Paintbrush and Hawk 2. This team went on to make it from the absolute bottom of the path to pro to contenders in a very short period, eventually losing to Team Envy, which had Thanos himself, Seagull. Everyone already knew Sugar Free was good enough for the league, but the legend of Lenny really began with last night's Leftovers, where he played with the core of what would eventually make up the Atlanta Reign. He was by far their best player, and he didn't even have any hair on his chest. His signature Genji was really good at this time, and he was just in that mode. Oh yeah, Sugar Free also goes by Lenny most of the time. No one really has a straight answer on why, but some people think that it's because it's his white name, as if his real name isn't Camden. This guy said it's Camdane. I really have my doubts on that, but if he ever sees this video, why don't you just go by Cam? Anyway, when last night's Leftovers was eventually signed to the Reign, their best player couldn't join the team. There was a system back then where Overwatch League teams were able to have an academy team, which were just partnered contenders teams, and the Reign created one basically just for him. This made him the youngest contenders player of all time at 13 years old. What were you doing when you were 13? I think that's when I learned how to crank hog. For contenders, this team was stacked, and they went on to win one season of contenders and finish second in 2 others. In 2019, they also had this really cool event called the Gauntlet, which is one of the first LAN events for contenders in a long time, and it was an opportunity for the top NA teams to actually test themselves against the better Korean teams. They took the best team in contenders at that time, Element Mystic, which had Hanbin and Sparkle on it, to 5 maps, later beating Yaki and Gangnam Jin's Runaway, and Stalker and Glister's Genji to make it back to the finals, where they were once again bested by Element Mystic. How stacked was Korea back then, dude? That's crazy. Of course, because this was an actually good event, it only happened once, but you can still see the influence in modern OWCS. The league was already in this kid's hand, and the community was going to make sure of it. You know what else is popular and fits in your hand? This fantastic game. The Ultimate Death Knight is back and better than ever. He tanks every hit with a passive that redirects 100% of damage and debuffs. Basically, Reinhardt level shielding and healing. A true main tank difference. He's MVP in both PvE and PvP, and completely free if you download Raid through my link or QR code. My favorite part about Raid is that it's a mobile game with AAA graphics. They've also got a bunch of cool skins and cosmetics, much better than that one Tracer skin with the mohawk. And honestly, Raid's PvE is way better than Overwatch's, we all know that. So what are you waiting for? Click my link or scan my QR code to get a free legendary of your choice and 2 epic champions. You can grab Ultimate Galek from the Orcs faction, and at level 15, you get Zargala, the GOAT support who pairs with him perfectly. This is like a Ryan Zarya combo, guys. You need to hop on this immediately. To all the new players, use one of the promo codes on the screen. DESERTQUEEN, DEMONSLAYER, TREEHUGGER, MONKEYKING, GETALICE, or UDKING. But I recommend MONKEYKING because Sun Wukong is the GOAT. Seriously though, if you want to support my channel for free, click that link and scan that QR code. The help really goes a long way, and Raid is even a good game. These rewards are only available through my custom link or QR code for 48 hours after download. Don't go through the App Store or you'll miss out. Come find me in-game under kellyGDH and join my clan, GDH Heads. Thank you once again to Raid Shadow Legends, and click that link, man. Anyways, it was around this time when Lenny was at his most dominant that his mythos would really start spreading. People already knew he was good, but how people really came to know him as a special talent was when one of his coaches bought this promotional video, filmed by 2, we'll say, professional actresses.
Are you an Overwatch League scout looking for the next rising star of your professional team? Look no further. Lenny, also known as Sugar Free to those who can't hang out with pros like him, is the 39-year-old prodigy you wish you would have known about sooner. He is best known for his exceptional Genji play and is definitely tier 1 material. What are you waiting for? Get your budget Korean superstar today with Sugar Free.
W Goons. Speaking of W Goons, it was also around this time that Sugar Free's dad, the busy Filipino himself, was hacked and posted this on Twitter. There were also countless videos about this 13-year-old prodigy. I swear, there was a new one of these every week, and a lot of them were made by this dude, the Fattened Sausage, who actually used to date Sniper Wolf, if you can believe it. I guess the shoe fits. He was so popular, there was even a countdown made until he was eligible for the Overwatch League in 2022. It's totally not creepy at all to have a countdown until you turn 18, by the way. Anyways, by 2020, contenders almost completely fell by the wayside as the league struggled more than ever. Viewership was in decline across the board, and contenders, which was already less popular, was neglected almost entirely by the Overwatch League teams, with even the Atlanta Reign dissolving its academy team in 2020. With that obviously came the release of Sugar Free, but surely it wouldn't be the end. But only a week later, he would shock the entire Overwatch world by retiring from the game for the claimed reason that Overwatch had sus devs. This guy reached rank 1, was the best player in NA, won contenders, and retired, all before finishing puberty. He then moved over to Valorant for a time, playing for Second Wind, and this is not the last time he would neglect Overwatch for the vastly inferior game, but we'll get to that. He was still secretly competing in Overwatch though, basically the whole time, acting as a substitute for a few teams, including American Tornado, who were the best NA team at the time, and later for the Fusion University. He tried to play undercover under the name Giali, which actually a few top players were doing at that time, with people like kellyGDH playing for one team as kellyGDH and another as Cucumber. There's very little indication of how good he really was in Valorant, as he got in basically at the beginning, and his team never entered any big tournaments. But they did win Valorant Sunday Showdown Week 18, so that has to mean something, right? All this Valorant grinding earned Lenny a whopping $881, a drop of water in the ocean for the known billionaire. If you want to be a billionaire, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more enchanting Overwatch content. Also, consider clicking the join button to support me extra. Thank you to the members on the second tier, Floppa, Piggles, and Left Y, and extra special shout out to GDH legends Maple, Goop, Got Some Good, and 07 Echo. Click those buttons. Do it right now. It was clear though that he couldn't keep himself away from the needle of Overwatch. He was even caught online by Super on stream, and when asked about joining the league, he said this of the situation.
Wait, Sugar Free, are you looking for Owl next season?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
Words in my mouth.
He knows.
Something weird happened.
Are you already signed to Atlanta, but you can't say it, so that's why you're acting like you're not looking for Owl? You have to play it down.
In a weird situation.
Whatever strangeness of the situation was never revealed, but finally, on December 16, 2022, Lenny turned 18, and 11 days later, he signed with the Vancouver Titans in the Overwatch League. Now, he obviously joined the league at a tough time, as, spoiler alert, this was the last season, but he also joined a pretty tough situation in Vancouver. The other DPS on the team when he joined was Aspire. They didn't really end up working out, but they did also have Heesang, so it was okay. He wasn't the only player to rush the league after he turned 18, as Patapan had already done this. He was another guy who had a bunch of 13-year-old Prodigy videos made about him after his dominance at the World Cup. Maybe this is why pro Overwatch players tend to love teenagers. Patty though had also transitioned to Valorant in 2020. Then he came back after turning 18, playing 1 year with the Gladiators, who was genuinely amazing, before returning back to the cesspool for some unknown reason. He now plays professional Apex Legends, so he has gone pro in 2 of the Overwatch killers. Maybe he'll go Rivals next. He also has the shortest Thai name I've ever seen. I mean, look at this, it even fits on one line, unlike Mickey. Sugar Braun once again made Overwatch's pro scene look easy for him, and it was like he never left. He was great on the heroes everyone already knew him for, Tracer and Genji, but he even debuted some new heroes. Could have been all his Euro experience, who knows. His performance even led him being selected for the 2023 Team USA, where he looked great, but unfortunately for him, he had Super on tank, so what can you do? That year, he barely lost out on Rookie of the Year to Donghak, but he was clearly in the upper echelon of players, and besides, losing to a Korean Winston really isn't all that bad. The Titans finished 8-8 that season. Not that bad considering their expectations, and with the league coming to an end, it was time for Sugar Free to find a new home. He signed at Timeless, which eventually became the Toronto Defiant, and this roster was absolutely stacked, with former MVP someone, known successful beat dropper, Vega, and RuPaul. They dominated from the NA side, but as soon as they got to a big event, they lost to Ents. How are we losing to these Europeans? I thought you bled red, white, and blue, Lenny. That loss was so embarrassing. They rebranded to the Toronto Ultra, where for some reason they locked in for the Esports World Cup, being one of the very few non-Korean teams to beat a Korean team with their defeat of Zeta Division, before eventually losing to the best team in the world, Crazy Raccoon, in the final. No oil money for you, Lenny. He was for some reason especially locked in while wearing purple, hitting nasty clips that even XQC had to react to.
Nah, he's got out, please. Go, this guy!
Oh my god!
Hello!
Long shall he reign! Another elimination for this
Hello!
guy. He is unassailable, untouchable in what he's doing.
Stop smiling and shit though, lock in.
They then switched back to the Toronto Defiant just to dominate NA once again, and came in 3rd place, losing again to Crazy Raccoon in Stockholm in 2024. Speaking of which, I'm going to be in Stockholm for the major this year. I'm skipping class for it, so if you see me, come say hi. I need this to be worth it. For that season, Sugar Free even won the DEI for non-Koreans NA MVP award, with all the other MVP awards besides EU MVP won by Koreans. Nice. Besides that though, he also suffered what is still the most embarrassing loss of his career, and perhaps of any career. Sugar Free is a frequent collaborator of the Wingstop guy, who was playing for NRG, as in he played Widow for 1 map every month. They were slated to play each other for 1 match in 2024, and Lenny said this.
Scared PG will take your spot, potentially, yep.
I can see that.
You guys know if I ever lose to PG in a match, I genuinely will retire.
Keep that
I'm
promise
so
true.
serious.
Don't retire till I beat you. Don't retire till I beat you.
When the fateful day came, the Toronto Defiant went up 2-0 early, even winning the map PGE played it. but the Shock got the next one, and they had to make the boss call to bring PGE back in for Blizzard World, where he positively bent Lenny over and showed him who daddy was. The Shock won the last map, sending the Defiant to the lower bracket, with PGE reminding Lenny of their familial relations via X, the Everything app. He also reacted like this on stream, so like it clearly didn't mean anything to him type shit.
Let's go!
Lenny even confirmed that he would be retiring, but the Shock would later fall to the Defiant in the finals, with Diddy Free once again cementing himself as the father.
Yeah, who's your daddy? Fine, it's you.
PGE of course reacted well to all of this.
Somebody kill Lenny, please!
After these tournaments though, the Defiant disbanded and Lenny went on to Space Station Gaming, where he still plays today. The Space Station days have been very interesting for Leonard, as they remain one of the best teams in NA, but Lenny's work ethic has been called into question quite a few times. Lenny has been seen on Valorant a lot these days, which isn't a problem, but he was on that game before matches where his team ended up losing. He was also seen getting on Deadlock seconds after losing to Team Liquid in the last few weeks.
Why did Space Station just add me and say Twitter? What did they do? Lenny has started playing Deadlock. Fuck ass. I'm so scared. It's all their fault.
But Lenny has also been streaming, taking content creation more seriously over the past few years, even forming the most unk group of all time, the S-Fam, with fellow streamers PGE and Super. I mean, bro is 20, almost 21, could not be me, pack it up bro. He also posts every few months on YouTube and can be seen more regularly in everyone else's videos. Sugar Free will always be remembered for his contributions to the game. He's like the avatar of Overwatch, except when the world needed him most, he actually came back, and has been helping with the slow and steady revival of Overwatch and making it even sort of cool again. He is already, in my opinion, the greatest American DPS player of all time, and many others seem to agree, though he is still of course Zera's son. He is the youngest player to ever play professionally, and maybe like Braun, one day Sugar Braun will be the oldest. Sugar Free may not need the game, but the game will always need Sugar Free. Subscribe, and don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses for new players with 2 epic champions.